All right, what's going on, everybody? It is Tuesday, March 21st, 2023, and we're about to kick things off here. What up, Michael? Yo, you're pretty close to your funding, aren't you, man? JPEL is supposed to speak at 11:30 today, and the Fed is making a rate interest decision today. I think they're going to raise it, especially after the whole bank drama. But we'll see what's up. $227 away, dude. That's awesome, man. I think you can get that, man. That's like one good trade. You got this, dude. Wow, coming all the way up to 4,031. Looks kind of sideways overall. This looks like a nice bounce off here, potential. Although the fifth. So we have some resistance up there at the 200 moving average at 40.17. So do you guys think that the Fed is going to raise interest rates today or lower them? It seems more likely to me that they're going to raise them. Jay Powell speaks at 11:30 Pacific, at 2:30 Eastern. We traded in our 50K today. Might trade him 100K. I still haven't like technically failed on that 100K, but like it's really close. I don't know like if that's gonna play out or not. Yeah, like it's so close to failure on that. But the 50K we're doing okay, and we're not doing too bad. We're down a little bit, but not much. Nothing we can't recover from. I don't know if I can recover from the 100K, but we'll see. Getting some like rejection here at view up. There's decent amount of buyer support down here. I'm gonna take a little feeler trade in the sim. I'm gonna start out there. In at 40.12, and I was looking to get out at 40.13 and a half. So I took the entry down here around 12, and I'm looking for a bounce up to the V-app. 210 looking like 4.5 to 3.6 to 2.9. So it's not bad momentum toward the upside as far as the TTM goes, but the chart is telling somewhat of a different story. Now the chart about going long, I mean, the 50 is dipping below the 200 moving average. So it's looking more bearish to me. So I might be wanting to look at more shorts. I have some conflicting information though, because I've got the TTM that is working its way towards bullish territory. We're kind of riding along the VWAP, so we could easily pop off of that. But the rest of our moving averages are kind of pointing towards downward move. I'll probably cut this right here. We're really like losing more than 300 on a trade. I hit that mark. I marketed out of that thing so long ago. $300 loss on that one. Let's take a look at some of the longer time frames. Yeah, okay. That makes more sense why that was a loss. You can see the 3-minute time frame here is actually just stacking on the GTM towards the downside, 5.8 to 6.8 to 7. So that's a little flat to 7.9. So it's a pretty big drop on this one. So we might wait for a red yellow on the 3-minute side before we start getting kind of serious about the trading. Apex 25K equals $32. Yeah, last day. I think today is the last day, and I appreciate you bringing that up, Michael, because today is the very last day for Apex's sale. If y'all don't know, Apex has 13 hours left on this sale, so very little time. It is 80% off right now. There is a link in the description, but I'll also paste the link here for you. But right now, you can actually go down here. You can actually get like 25K or 50K or even a 75K, all the way up to 300 grand and even 100K static, for a significant discount. Most people, I think, would be really comfortable with the 50K. This is like this is really inexpensive because you go from what is this one? 167 per month. And that takes it down to 33.40 before tax. And if you have tax in your area, let's just estimate like 10%, you're at like 36.74 for 50K. So it's really cheap. And so you guys are definitely going to want to pick that up. I'm going to drop a link in the text as well, but there is a link in the description. I'm going to drop one in the text just so you guys don't have to go looking for that. But you guys are definitely going to want to take advantage of that. There's only like 13 hours left on that. But they do now offer Tradeovate and TradingView as well as NinjaTrader. And one of the big things that I think was holding Apex back was that they sort of lacked access to more software. You could use other software in the past with them, but the only thing that they covered was NinjaTrader. And so now with them covering NinjaTrader, Tradeovate, and TradingView, I think that this opens it up to a lot more traders. Which I, for one, am really excited about because Apex was a company to me that I thought had a lot of potential, but I know that there's a lot of traders that are just not wanting to use NinjaTrader. 7.0 to 8.0, at least a lot of ones that I had talked to. It's 8.5. Nothing wrong with NinjaTrader. I think NinjaTrader is an insanely powerful program. Like NinjaTrader, I could tell the moment that I got into NinjaTrader, I was like, dude, this software is gonna be intense. This one's gonna be like really powerful. But I could also tell that it was gonna be a challenge to figure it out. 8.0 to 8.3 on the TTM3, looking good for a potential trend reversal here. Going up and testing that VWAP again. Just slightly above our original entry there, 40.12, the one that we cut out. A red yellow would look really nice on the 3-minute side. Our next 3-minute candle will be at 39, and that is just right now. So going from 8.0 to 8.3 to 8.5. If this one continues to push up and gets above the VWAP, then we'll look at going long here for the bounce. I'm going to try it out in the sim side, but this is looking like one that I might want to take on the evaluation soon. There's 2 seconds left in this candle. New candle forming now. I haven't taken it because I'm worried about a rejection there at the volume weighted average price. But starting to get a 3-minute flex here. Yeah, I call that a flex. What? Enjoying the bid there in at 40.14.25 on the eval. I don't know if I actually really like this position. We're gonna need to see this pop up through the VWAP. I'm in the ES. I'm in the mini, not the micro at the moment. I'm gonna take the profit there.
Order filled.
Just because even though it'll probably hit it, it did hit it. Just tapped it. But I took that profit up 31.92 on the day. This is looking nice and strong for a potential rip up. We'll have a new 3-minute candle at 42, but right now we're going from 8.3 to 8.0, which is looking nice and strong. And we have just one more minute for a 3-minute candle. This is why I took the profit on that, is because I'm worried about a little like mini rejection before we get that breakout. Plus with the 50 below the 200 moving average, I'm still a little sketchy. There is a cyan switch on the 1-minute chart, which does look pretty solid. Join the bid at 13.5 on the sim. There's 5 seconds left in this candle. I'm looking to get out at 15.5. So that candle ended red. Let's see, 8.3 to 8.3. I should say the TTM ended red to 8.0. This is looking even more solid. But on the 1-minute side, we got to get above the VWAP now for me to take this. So I want to take this for this rip out because you can see like there is the cyan switch on the 1-minute side. There's also the zoom in here. The 9's getting above the 12. We're waiting on a 12.26 crossover on the 1-minute. But like I said, I have to see it get above the VWAP in order to really trust this breakout. From 8.3 to 8.3 down to 8.6. So that could be considered a rejection. This looks like it may form like a little ABCD pattern. Definitely a rejection there at the VWAP. I'm gonna cut it on the sim side. I think it's just gonna pop right back up. But in the case it didn't, I decided to cut it. Down 537.50 in the sim, up 32 in the eval. 31.92 or something like that. Yep, 31.92. Let's take a look at the 5-minute chart. 5-minute, we're also waiting on a red to yellow as well for a trend reversal. It looks like it's holding VWAP area pretty well. Like clearly we're consolidating at the VWAP, like right above it and right below it. This could just as easily go like really heavy to the downside though, so pulled all the way back to like 4,010, now bouncing up to 4,012.50. It's looking stronger for an upward move, but there could just be like contracts piled on and just all dumped at once. 0.6 to 0.9 to 1.0 to 1.2. We're back up here at VWAP. There we go. There's the crossover. Still below VWAP though. My VWAP in TOS and in Tradeovate are in slightly different positions. This one here is at 13. My TOS one's at 14. So it's quite a ways apart from each other. Nice rip there.
Order filled. Order filled.
So got a little micro trade in the 100K. I'm just gonna go back and forth on that one a little bit here and there to try and build that back up. Job for rejections on the 200 moving average. This is looking nice and strong though. For rip over it and potentially a test at these highs. This obviously is not going to get filled. High up here at 31. So watch out for, there could be some pretty heavy rejection here at the 200 moving average. I don't think it's going to reject that heavily per se, but there may be some consolidation here as we attempt to get over. Some bounces off of like 15.5 would look pretty good. I'm gonna put a standing order there at 15.5 if we happen to pull back that far. Where are we at? 1.6 to 2.3 to 2.7 on the TTM. That was a very nice move from 13 all the way up to 17. So what is that? 16.6. Very nice move there. Little doji at the top here. I don't mind a pullback to the 50 EMA. In fact, I would welcome it. I'm definitely trading a lot better this week than I was last week. I would say part of that is probably market conditions. And the other part is that I think that just like by the end of last week, I was like at the end of my emotional rope, as far as one might say, with trading in everything. So I just kind of felt like, I think it just felt like I just needed to rest and rejuvenate. I dropped this down to 16.5 just because it's not filling there. So what a pawn. Risky there with the 200. That's exactly what I'm saying, man. That's why I'm only taking it in the sim and why I'm not taking it in the evaluation. I did get a couple nice trades on the way up to it though. What's up, Phil? By the way, pawn, are you picking up Apex's 80% off today? Today's the last day for it. They're doing 80 off everything right now. I think it has it's like 13 hours left. So 13 hours left. They're doing 80% off. We got a link in this distro for that, but they opened it up to TradingView and Tradeovate, and so I'm like, yo, that's pretty nice. Sorry, I didn't. SPY also has unfilled gap and an upside bias because of the QQQ unfilled gap. Yeah. I think this part of the reason why this week is so bullish has a lot to do with the Credit Suisse bailout, and then all the other bailouts as well. Every single bank I have is like sending me emails. We swear we're okay. We swear we're okay. I'm gonna cut that. Should have gone short off the 200 moving average. Down 562.50 in the sim, but up in all my evals today. It was nice. A bit of rejection there off of the 200 moving average. So you look at the 3-minute chart. I want to see what this was doing. This has a possible 1226 crossover inbound. $7.5 to 7.0 to 6.5, down to 6.6ish, etc. Nine still below 12, but I do think that we might get some nice bounces here off the 9 EMA or possibly off the VWAP. If we flush down below this, then that's that. But there it is, the flush down below it. $7.5 to 7.0, down to 7.4. Big drop down. Dropping all the way down to 40.10. That was a much stronger resistance at the 200 moving average than I was expecting. 200 moving average is a very tough cookie to crack, but that's a pretty big dump there. All the way down to 4,009. We've been holding this area right here along that doji as support. So we'll see if it sticks with that. That is right at 4,008.75. Yeah, I was also thinking about picking up another one myself. I'm also running 2 right now, but I picked up an Apex one in February when they were doing an 80% off deal, and I was shocked to find out that it was only NinjaTrader. I didn't know, and I spent 3 weeks learning NinjaTrader before I was just like, you know what, this is taking a lot of time. So I just ended up canceling it without ever even taking a trade. But now that they opened up the software, I'm like, yo, I already know how to use TradingView and Tradeovate. I don't need to spend days or weeks working on that. So now I might pick one up because I can just jump right into trading. SPY options flow is neutral all day, no directional bias. I grabbed an Apex 50K last night. Yeah, I heard. I saw that, man. It was badass. Yo, that flow thing is pretty cool. It's like trading ticks. I was a little bit in sticker shock at the price though. I was like, dang, $1,500. But they did it was interesting because they have a free plan, then they have a $1,500 plan. It's like that is a really wide gap. So I was really surprised at that. I was like, dang, wow, that's a major gap there. But it seems really cool, especially because you can they have Discord bots and stuff like that. So I was like, man, I'm gonna have to aspire to get here to get one of these. Just because that option flow thing seems just really useful. Is it 60 a month? 69 a month? Oh, I see. I didn't see this plan yesterday. Wait, yesterday I was here though. They had a free plan. I mean, the free plan was only like 5, uses per week or something like that. Like 5 data pulls per week. 69 a month's not bad. I actually did not see the $69 plan yesterday. Okay, so I went there yesterday and I saw a $0 plan and a $1,500 plan. Which obviously the 1,500 was the annual, but it's 200 a month. And I was like, dude, that's a really large gap. The $69 plan that's there now was not there yesterday. But the free plan that was there yesterday is not there now. I got cookied. Yeah, it's 5 requests per week for the Discord bot. And I just think that the group would use that up super fast. Big drop down here. Moving into bearish territory. Oh, excuse me. By the way, if y'all chilling, y'all hanging out, we do have like over 6 people watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. It really does make a pretty big difference. And yeah, just help the channel out. Nice free way to do it. Also, if you guys decide to pick up an evaluation, we do appreciate when you use our links because you guys do get to take advantage of the full discounts. And it does support this channel. It does provide us with a small little kickback to help the channel continue to grow and to continue to be here every day. Holding pretty strong support. I mean, you can see we found support here 4 different times. I honestly don't mind a trade here off of 4,009. I'm a little worried to get another flush, but it doesn't look bad for just looking at it and being like support trading off tech analysis. Because you can see we bounced here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times recent, and then we had all these previous bounces here too. So this area doesn't look bad. Heck with it. I'll take a little feeler here down at the bottom of this support zone here at 875, 4008.75. Look for a little red yellow move there. And now there's the drop. That's what I was worried about. I mean, it held support really well for a while. For a long time, actually. $2.4 to 3.1 on the GTM1. I can see this bouncing here and then making another run towards the VWAP up there at 13. What's our exit here? 1175. 2.4 to 3.1 to 3.4. Sorry, I didn't grab these. I think you can ping. Let's see. The 69 gives you access to the trading dashboard directly and all tools with real-time data. Nice little pop there. We did get that trade. Down 112.50 on the day, but I think we can turn this around pretty fast. 3.1 to 3.5 or so. But getting pretty good bounce there. Pretty strong down wick. So still have some selling pressure here. That was 3.3 to 3.4 now. in again on the sim side at 10 and a quarter, and I'm looking to get out at 13 and a quarter, which is just below the view app. It's right there where the EMA 35 is. Jumping to the evaluation side, and I'm in the 50K.
Order filled.
In at 11, but I already don't like this trade because got in at 11 right on a pullback there. Gratefully, this is in the micro, and we're only in one contract. So if it goes against us, it's not a big deal. So they're gonna get out 11.75. Just down slightly in this. I think it's want to play out. Might get a little pop up here, like 12 and a quarter.
Order
All
filled.
right, we got that. I'm gonna jump back over to the ES, the mini, and I don't know about going for 7 ticks. I might go for 4, just to be a little on the safer side. Nice little pop up here. We're up 33.93 on the day, because that last trade was only worth like $2. I'm gonna cut this trade, and hopefully it'll let me out sooner rather than later. All right, so we're up 187.50 on the sim side. We're up in all our accounts today. That's always a good thing. Nice pattern here on this return. 4009 acting as really strong support for the moment. Going from 3.2 to 3.2 to 3.1. So there's not enough TTM momentum really to say that this is going to be a trend reversal. It's close, and the chart looks like it might be like we might get a solid bounce here. But one thing I've noticed is that the 26 SMA is still on the up curve. So I kind of want this to switch towards a downward curve. We're getting a bounce off the 9 EMA. This is not that important. It's mildly, like, if I was to put it on a scale of 1 to 10, I would put its importance at like a 3 or 4. So it's not like, it's not a deal breaker. I'm more concerned about the TTM moving quicker in the upward direction, because this is going to give us a better indication of upward momentum or downward momentum, or just momentum. Ta-da! We are getting more and more people hanging out here every day, and I really do love and appreciate all of you guys. If you guys wouldn't mind liking, subscribing, and ring the bell for notifications, that would really make a major difference to me. It would just, like, honestly, if nothing else, it just like encourages me to come back each and every day. That stuff does kind of drive the community, drives the channel. It helps YouTube actually. It helps YouTube introduce this to other people, because YouTube's algorithm really works in a sense of like sort of social sharing. The more something gets engagement, the more they recommend it to other people. And I think it's really cool. So there's that. Also, guys, too, we have an awesome Discord community that we'd love to have you guys be a part of. If you're curious at all what it's like in there, it's called Optimistic Futures for a reason. And really, it's just a place to go and talk about philosophy, entrepreneurship, trading, evaluations. A lot of us are trying to get funded in prop firms right now. So we'd love to have you in there, talk to you about your experience. Everybody's got a different experience in trading, which is one thing I really like about that group. TTM on the 3 side going from 7.0 to 6.0 to 5.5. This is looking pretty decent for a nice rip up. Looks like we're on the setup here. We got this little hammer candle on the 3. I tried to join that bid there at 11 and a quarter. I may need to bump this up. Yeah, I'm gonna bump up to 12 and see if it lets me in. Oh, it didn't let me in. Well, I'm just trying to get in on that side. Jump into the eval. And
Order filled.
in at 1250, and I'm looking to get out at 1350, just right here at the VWAP. I'm in the mini at the moment, and we're getting a small pullback. I'm only in one contract. Trading kind of smaller while I build up a cushion. Trying to get out at 1350, which is right at VWAP. We got good buyer support on that last candle. And this one is kind of in between sells and buys. Pulling back some. More so than I want to see. Oh, big pullback on that. Might have to cut. TTM here went from 2.5 up to 2.0. Probably gonna have to cut this. It's well past our intended area. I'm out.
Order filled.
Loss on that one. That puts me down on the day, $110. Ah, there's the rip, man. Ah, it lasted just 1 or 2 seconds too long for me. Should have trusted the 3-minute chart. 5.3 to 4.6 on the TTM3. And we'll have a new candle here at 809. Which is just in about 1 minute. I'm going to switch back to the 1 minute chart because I want to see where the 9 EMA stay at. Gonna try another entry off of 1250.
Order filled.
This time I'm in 2 contracts.
Order filled.
Okay, so we got that. Still at a loss, but down $20. So we made 80 back on that one because we took 2 contracts. I'm actually gonna bump up to 3 contracts here on the mini on the 50K eval. There's a lot of resistance there at the VWAP, but I think that this is going to rip up here. So we've got a cyan switch inbound. We do have that VWAP. This 50 moving average is going to act as some resistance. I think that we're going to get a rip up towards 15. What do y'all think?
Order rejected.
It always rejects it when it's like that close. I was trying to get in there at like 1350 for this exact rip, but damn.
Order filled.
Got in at 14. I'm looking to get out at 15. We're in 3 contracts.
Order filled.
Cut right there and took that profit. 2 ticks at 3 contracts. We're back in profit on the day, 37.95. It's looking nice and solid. I'm gonna cut this on the sim side. So we got about 412.50 on that. So we're up 600 on the sim. We're up 37.95 on the eval. We didn't really need to take this loss, but I guess so. Good thing is that it was only at 1 contract. But we got this nice trade here at 2 and this nice trade here at 3 contracts. Right now 9 is below 12. 9 is getting above the 35 moving average, so that's looking good. I want to see the 35 get above the 50, but this is looking really solid for more upward move. I'm gonna put this at 10 ticks, and I'm gonna try to get in here at like 14.25. All right, so on the sim side, we're in a 14.25, and our exit point is just below the VWAP, or just below the 200 moving average, sorry, at 1675. 200 is at 17.5. So it's about 3 ticks below the 200 moving average. This would have been a really nice trade to take in the evaluation. Gonna cut that and take that profit. Up 862.50 in the sim. That would have been a very nice trade there. I kind of wish we took that. Little hammer candle here. This is probably going to come up and test the 200 moving average at 17.25. So that's like a 4-tick move from this point. But I think I'm going to hold off. I feel like I need a breather from trading at the moment. 1 minute looking like 1.1 to 2.1 to 3.0 on the TTM. We got a possible crossover the 5200. This is looking nice and strong. Switching to the 3-minute chart, which is nearing a cyan switch. 3-minute chart's looking very nice and strong. Also, 3-minute chart just got the 9 above the 200 moving average. So where's the upper area of this? 40.35 is probably the max resistance zone. Watch out for resistance along like 17, 18 area, 20, 25, and 30. And a little pullback now towards 15. So that was a pullback all the way to 15. I'm tempted to want to continue to trade, but I feel like if I trade right now, I'm gonna take a L for no reasons. So 40.18 maybe triggers short covering. That's what I was wondering myself. Right there at the 200 moving average. Again, guys, if y'all chilling, y'all hanging out, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. We do have an amazing Discord community, and we'd love to have you guys be a part of it. Right now, we have just a small but growing number of people there, pretty engaged people who we go in there. We talk about entrepreneurship, philosophy, trading, all the fun stuff. I've actually gotten a lot of trade tips from people in there, stuff that has actually helped me grow as a trader. Here's that breakout above the 200 moving average. This is honestly like this was the thing I was talking about. But I was just hesitant to trade here because of that 200. I guess it could have been a little bit more aggressive, but you know, sometimes like if I'm overly aggressive, dude, then I'll end up losing out. 40.20 is a new area right now. Looks like we're ripping just right on through it. Massive amount of buys. Yeah. The iron she blows. Absolutely, man. Looks like so we had some resistance here at 23 earlier. Do y'all think that we'll just get some shorts covering right in here and drop right back below the 200? Or I think we'll stay above the 200. I mean, 200 is kind of far down. I mean, it's like 17 and a half, so it's like it'd have to drop like $2. It's quite a lot for it to drop. 5.1 to 5.1 to 5.7, yeah. I think that we might just rip up to 23. There's a lot of down wicks. You see, this one had a lot of downward pressure. This one did too, or is, on this current one. I feel like 19 is asking too much. A lot more cells in this, but it's actually still holding in the green. Actually, is it more cells? We haven't had a red candle in a while. 1, 2, 3, doji. 1, 2, doji. 1, 2, 3. These dojis more or less could be considered the pullbacks. I think we have room up to 23 potential at the moment, which is right at this line. Eine Sekunde, bitte. I've been going pretty slow in my evaluations this time, mainly because like our first couple days trading, we just took a bunch of fat losses for no reasons, and it honestly could have been prevented with a little bit more patience and a little bit more stoicism on each of the trading days that it happened, as well as better risk management. Now we're getting some cool off. My eyes are kind of itchy. I'm so allergic this spring. Like, I normally get spring allergies, but they're not this bad. Normally. We do like a garden every year. And, man, like I went to go work out in the garden, I was like sneezing the whole time. Dude, I can't like do very much. This looks nice for a bounce, like off the 9 EMA. It's a nice little pullback here. It's what we want to see. It's actually a really nice pullback. Kind of wish I took that. Sorry for all the window flipping. Let's take a look at this on the 3-minute side. 3-minute, it has a very strong cyan candle. Hella buys coming in. I'm gonna bump this up. Just get in where it fit in. Went from 0.8 to 2.6 on the 3-minute TTM. That's hella. 6.7 to 5.1 to 3.6 on the TTM5. This is looking super strong. honestly, this looks like a very strong ABCD pattern. So I think that we actually have room up here to like 25 and maybe on pass. There's the flag on the play. Five-minute chart on the TTM looking like 5.1. I'm gonna call it 5.2 because it's basically there. To 3.7, and our next one's gonna be at 8.25, which is in 3.5 minutes. Three-minute side getting a green dot, going from 2.4 to 3.5, and our next one is, well, our last one is just this one right now. Pulling back to 19. Where is this at? 16.5. We may have room down to like 16.5, and then a bounce off that, off the 19 or the 9 EMA. 19 EMA. Weird. Just put this at 20 and look to just get out with a micro profit here on this one. Mainly just I think my entry could have been a little bit better there. I think a lot of people will be looking to take this bounce here off the 9 EMA. I'm not going to participate in it because this just could easily pull back down towards the 200 or even down below it. I think a 50-200 crossover will actually look really solid. One thing that is nice to note here is that the 35 is actually crossed above the 50 EMA. And this is actually quite valuable because that means that our moving averages are stacking up in the bullish order, which should be the 9 EMA, followed by the 12 EMA, followed by the 35, followed by the 50, with the 26 heading it up last. Once the 26 ends up above the EMA 35, and that's typically around the time that our move has run out. We'll have a new 3-minute candle in just about 20 seconds. Right now we're on a 3-minute pullback with that little hammer that you see there. So did get out of that trade with a very micro profit, up 900 in the sim. And getting this pullback now to like 1950. Here's the new 3-minute candle. TTM going from 3.5 to 4.2. So movement of 0.7, not quite as strong as the previous one. And continue to pull back some. Like I said, I think that if we're going to pull back, if we continue to pull back, that is, I could see a pullback to the 9 EMA on the 3-minute side, which is currently at 17 point. I'm going to call it 17.5. It's not quite there, but it's almost there. But like 4,017 and a half. So I could see a pullback to about that level, which is just above the, it's actually right at the 200 moving average. Doesn't look like that's the case, but that's where I could see that pulling back to, if we do pull back to that. On the 3-minute side as well, the 9, 12, 35, and 50 are all in the proper location for more bullish movement. Pulling up to 40-20. I feel like this is going to break out. I mean, this is a pretty long, you can see this flag pattern here. It's kind of a long flag pattern, but it is there. You can see it here a little more clearly on the 3-minute chart. Gonna switch to the 5-minute chart and just take a look at this as well. Because we should have a new 5-minute candle right now. This is our brand new one. And TTM went from 5.1 to 3.8 to 2.6. So it's still stacking here as well. This one also has a possible crossover of 1226. The 9 and 12 are in the proper location for bullish move. Plus they're above the 35. The only thing that these have left to do is to get above the 26 SMA. Now on the 1-minute side, the main thing that we're looking for is going to be the moving average crossover right here of the 50 EMA above the 200 SMA, which is about $1.50 away from each other. And so I think this is going to be probably another, I might say anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes for this full crossover here to play out. But when that does happen, I think that we may get a move up towards 25. Here's that pullback to 1750 that I was talking about. I was talking about that based on the 3-minute chart as well as the 200 SMA here. We may get a nice bounce off this. That would be the hope, is that we actually get a bounce here so that we can continue the bullish move. We did pull back to the EMA 35 on the 1-minute chart. Actually, all the way down to the 50 where we tapped it. Now we're on 35. So this might just fill right back up. That came up and hit resistance there at the 200. If it does fill all the way back up, then we're looking strong for nice and bullish. But there is still a pretty good chance and probability that that we may fail here and continue downward based off of the 912 moving averages getting closer together on the downward side. The TTM also cooling off as well. This is typically a really strong bounce zone here, but also with that 200 moving average there acting as resistance, it may also end up just failing down. So this is really kind of in between a bearish and bullish move. It's kind of in a critical location. And so being as that's the case, I'm going to take a feeler trade on the sim side, not on the eval, for a break above that. And there it is. There's the break. Just broke out super fast above that. 2.7 to 2.1. I was going to take that trade right there. It's too late now, so I'm not gonna chase it. But like I said, I think we have movement available up to 25. 1850 doesn't seem like a bad entry either. Well, maybe it does. That's a lot of sell off there. TTM going from 2.7 to 1.9, still scaling back on the TTM. Wonder if 8:45 is going to be the breakout time. It's been very consistently the breakout time for like 2 months, where we've seen big moves happen at 8:45. That looks like a little bear flag. You see the little flag right there. Now it could just rip up, because we are still in bullish form. And just because the TTM is pulling down here doesn't mean we don't get a massive amount of buy orders and rip it back up. But traditionally, that would be a bear flag. You can see it looks like a boot. It's about to kick you in the ass. Kind of this like shape like Sonic's boot. Like Sonic the Hedgehog. By the way, I appreciate all y'all chilling with us today. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Resistance there at that 200 moving average. I don't know that this is gonna that resistance is gonna hold. I feel like it's gonna break out above this. It may take some time and consolidate in this area, but I feel like it's gonna break out because The 50 moving average is actually pointing on the upside as well. So I'm gonna zoomed in here. Nothing to take yet, even though like this is putting in plenty of range. I want to make sure that the trades that I'm taking in my evaluation that I completely understand and I have a lot of confidence that it's going to move in the direction that I'm seeking. Got a standing order on the sim at 1750. I don't know if we're going to get it. It looks like it's just going to rip up past it, but 1750 is right where the 200 moving average is. This really does look like it's going to bounce. Got a standing order in the eval at 18. Actually, I don't know, man. I feel like it's gonna bounce. I'm a little sketched out because of this red on the GTM. That's why I'm sketchy. It's really because of that. Like, it looks like it's just gonna rip here, but I'm literally sketched out for that one reason. That one reason only. We're scared to one song only. Popping up towards 20. So this is looking like that breakout might happen. TTM going from 0.1 to 0.3. I'm not going to trade on it, but I'm going to pull up a... I'm actually just going to switch real fast to a like 30-second chart. Yeah, 30 seconds is showing a sort of a cyan switch here, so it did rip out. It's ripping on up now. We did get that trade on the sim side up 1275. I think I need to be a little bit more confident in my trading strategies and just what I see on the trade zones. That was a nice consolidation. This is actually what we wanted to see through this zone. You can see a massive amount of resistance right here at 21. So now we can look for entries off of like 18 and a half and join the bid there. Sort of missed the entry. I tried to join the bid at 19 and a quarter. A lot of pullback on this. So this entered me at 19 on the sim side. And the exit at 2150. I don't really like that exit point. I'm going to put the exit actually at 20.5. Big pullback. 9 is still above 12. Is that a 1226 crossover? It is. Shoot. It might not last because on the current candle. So look at the 5-minute chart. 5-minute about to get a cyan switch. As well as that 1226 crossover. This is looking really nice. 840 would be likely when we get that. Potentially even on this current candle. And check the 3-minute side. 3-minute is on cool. (4.1 to 5.0 to 5.0 flat). Love a new 3-minute and right now. So that one came back cyan. This one we want to see 5.0 to 4.8 to 4.8. So it's actually cooling off. This one's at a risk level, so I'm going to cut that. It's actually a little past. I'm going to try and get out of it. Hopefully it'll let me out, because right now you can see it's still continuing to drop, but it won't cut. That still hasn't cut yet. It's dropped another $300 before I finally cut. So 1250 down from 1275. It took like an additional $300 to cut. I tried to cut it at 375, didn't cut till 600. So it took another 225 out of the pocket. Well, it is on the sim side, so it's not technically out of the pocket. But out of the pocket. Right now the 5-minute chart is the one looking the best. Or at least with the most potential, I think. We're pulling all the way back to the EMA 50. I'm just going to open my office window or my office door. It's getting hot in here. So I think we'll be looking at potentially trading the 5-minute breakout here at 845. This pulled all the way back. I honestly wish I took that entry. Looking very nice for a bounce here off of 17.5. I'm gonna put this actually at 15 ticks. And we'll try and get an entry here at 17.5 area. So the idea for this trade is to get this cyan switch here, as well as the 1226 crossover on the 5-minute. Massive rejection though. Wow. Holy Manoli Pataka. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nice out. I'm gonna have to cut that. Dude, that was crazy. So that was the concept. This is gonna rip right back up. Pulled all the way back to the view app. Massive amount of contracts just dumped all at once. And you can see TTM is on the 1-minute side has gone quite red. So we'll wait for a red to yellow move on the TTM1. But that last candle with 6,500 contracts, with a huge amount of them just dumped on us as shorts all at once. Even more going. It's another 4,700. I think this just took all the wind out of those sails. That's not to say that we can't fill all this and then have it come back up to the view app. But over the last 2 trades, we gave back nearly $1,000 in the sim. We're still positive on the day, but very little. Small green. Gratefully, we're nice and green in our evaluations. I don't know about nice and green, but we are green. You know, it's only $37.95, but hey. Better than a swift kick in the teeth. I don't know why it has to be swift, but for whatever reason, that just makes it sound better. So off that little bear flag, we got this little pump, followed by a pretty heavy drop. $1.9 to 2.5 to 3.2. So, Michael, here's a question for you about the trading ticks. Will it allow you to see with the options order flow? Will it allow you to actually see that stuff, those drops before they happen? Will it allow you to like see a lot of options contracts coming in for the short side and be like, oh, this is about to drop? Take the stairs up and the elevator down. You ain't wrong. That wraps up a $637 day. Nice, dude. In the eval for me, following yesterday's 740. Bro, you're a boss. You're a beast. You're about to get funded, man. I can feel it. I can feel it. You got this, dude. I know you do. I had to get back on some of those days, man. Like, all through November, December, and October, and even in January, like we were doing multiple $100 days in the evals, and I think I just got a little bit like, man, I'm tired of failing these evals, and it got like really close so many times to passing those things, and then at the very end, I blow the account, and so I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, you know, what is personally happening in my own belief system that is causing this to happen? I think one of the major reasons was impatience. By far, I think one of the major reasons was impatience, above all else. 4.2 to 4.4 on TTM1. I think the 5-minute probably is still stacking towards the upside. It is, but barely. 1.5 to 1.3. Well, no, 45. Is it about 2 minutes? Twitter moving average working its way up on the 3-minute chart. It's a good little pump off that. There's that red to yellow move that we mentioned. It's not strong enough. It's like 4.6 to 4.5, so yeah, I saw that bear flag, man, and I was like, I was sketchy. That's why I didn't take any in my eval. Was for that very reason. Just because that bear flag was chilling. And because we got below the 200 moving average again. We're coming up on 8:45, which has been a breakout zone all week for us. We're just about 1 minute away from that. We're pulling below that support level that we were at earlier, which is like 4,009 area. We're pulling like slightly below it here on the 1 minute side. There's actually a lot of range for the 1 minute candle. You can see it went from almost 11, actually pretty much at 11, wicking all the way down to 6.75. So this is a very large range candle towards the downside with some rejection right there off the 9 EMA. 4.6 to 5.2. This is looking far more bearish by the minute. You can see here's the sort of like this little bear bounce, this little stair step pattern, and further downward move. So we're definitely looking like we're going into bearish territory now. We rejected the 5200 crossover on the 1 minute side, which I saw happen a couple of times throughout February. It's not a common thing, but with the bear market that we're in, we're not in a common market right now. So 4.7 to 5.1. I mean, what do I know? I've only been trading for a couple of years. So I haven't traded like some of these people that are like 16, 17 years that are like, I've been through 3 different recessions. They got like a scar on their face, like, looking like a war hero. Seen it all. We do have the Fed rate decision at 11 o'clock. That is in just over 2 hours from now. Likely the Fed is going to hike the rate up, but there is some speculation that they could lower it down given the bank crisis, like all the bank crises going on right now. It's really weird, because when 2008 happened, I was like 24 when it happened. Like when 2008 took place, I was like 24 years old. So I was in the markets in terms of like I had a 401k, which I withdrew in order to start a business, which I'm so grateful that I did, because I drew it right before the market crash. So I just had this feeling. I was like, man, I just feel like, I don't know, like the market's going to crash. And my wife's like, how do you know that? I'm like, I have no idea, because I know nothing about markets. I didn't know anything about trading or stocks or any of that stuff at the time. But I knew that I had a really nice 401k that was outperforming everybody else at work, depending on the markets that I had set up in. So I was pretty happy with that. But I took that 401k and I started a business, but I took it out like 2 months before the crash. Not even that. I think it was like 1 month before the crash in 2008. So I took it in September. The market crashed in October. And anyway, it's just weird to like think back to that time and not have seen all the signs per se that I see now. Like once they started giving stimulus checks back in 2020 in Trump's last term, and they started giving, or Trump's last year in office. Once they started giving out stimulus checks, I was like, oh no, like this is going to be so bad, because I knew that there's nothing for free. And like, I saw all this content being posted up on the internet, like, yeah, it's free money from the government. And there's no such thing as free, man. If you ever read the 48 Laws of Power, one of the very first things that is taught in there is beware the free lunch. And I was telling my wife, and I said it on stream on some other YouTuber channels as well, like, hey, if they're printing stimulus checks, like that money is going to come from somewhere, and it's going to come from taxes. And then it's going to cause inflation, and you're actually going to pay way more money than you ever received in this stimulus check. And then a famous analyst came out with this breakdown of how much the stimulus checks would cost each person in the long term. So for every person that received $1,400, they would end up paying $16,000 in inflation. And he wasn't wrong. It was long before inflation had spiked, though. But it just seems so obvious. Let's see. H pattern. Shorting pattern here for more down. Yeah, what I was noticing here was kind of finding support. I did notice seem like a short option. I don't typically take the 9 EMA short bounces, even though it's the exact same trade in reverse, just because a lot of the times I've gone to take it and then just seen it rip up. And so I didn't want to do that. 6.7 to 6.2 on the TTM 1 minute side with the red to yellow move. Watch out for resistance here off along the 9 EMA. But yeah, coming up on 850. Well, we're already at 850. My clock is a minute slow. Well, actually, it's 1 hour and 1 minute slow because I didn't update that one over there from daily savings time. I have a clock on the other side of this. I have clocks everywhere in my house. Getting a blue to red there on the TTM3, if y'all can see that. But we are bouncing off the 200 moving average relatively decently. No trades in a while. No trades in a while. So this one ended at 1.5 on the TTM. Then we pulled back down to 1.87, then 2.15, and then now we're pulling up to 2.15 as well. 2.0 area on the 5-minute chart. Some potential for a U-shape pattern here. TTM going from 6.7 to 6.2 to 5.8, and a new candle at 5.1. Down out. Join the bid long at 8.25, 4,008.25, and I'm gonna look for a move up towards, I think. Well, right now my exit's at 12. Big dump there. Put my exit at 950, but I don't know that this is gonna come back off this. 5.8 to 5.5 now 5.3. 5.4 to 4.8 on the TTM. I think on the sim side, I overtraded. Like, to be totally honest, I overtraded my hand a little bit, and I think that put us in this position that we're at now. Because our peak of the day was like over 1,200 on the sim side. Gratefully, we've managed to practice pretty good patience on our evaluation. Just putting this at like a 2-tick trade, see if it'll let me out at 75. All right, it did. Up 262.50 on the day. In the sim, our peak of the day was like 1275, somewhere in that range. We have a possible crossover on this hammer candle with this yellow stack as well. So there is pretty good potential for an upward move. The next thing I'm going to want to see is this 9 get above the 12. I think the 9 getting above the 12 would help confirm this move that we see here. The TTM is looking nice and strong. I mean, it's moving at a factor of 0.7 per minute. We're at 854. So we'll have a new 5-minute candle in about 15 seconds. I'm going to jump to the 5-minute chart. 5-minute chart is struggling between red and yellow. Hopefully this one ends yellow. It did. Our new one's opening up at basically break even. I want our new one to end yellow as well. which would put us at 9 o'clock. Likely would be around 4,012 or potentially above the VWAP. I think there's going to be a lot of price action going on in about 2 hours when Jerome Powell, Jerome Powell speaks at 11:30, but when the Fed rate hike rate decision, I'm calling it rate hike decision. I just realized by saying that a lot of the articles that were coming out said prior to the hikes, prior to the interest rate hikes, was the articles were coming out as the Fed rate hike decision. And they were coming out saying that before they knew whether or not it was going to be a hike or a drop. I think everyone assumed it was going to be a hike. It made sense for it to be a hike, but it's kind of fascinating just to see it kind of play out like that. To play out in saying that it would be a hike in the headline itself. The Fed rate hike decision. Gonna jump to the 3-minute chat. Gonna wait for 8:57, which is in about 30 seconds. So we did bounce pretty well here off of the 200 moving average on the 3-minute side. This is going from 1.4 to 2.7. So I don't necessarily expect the next candle to go yellow, but it could. We'll have a new 3-minute candle right now. So going from 1.46 to 2.74, new ones opening up around 4. So continued downward push on the TTM3. And on the 5, we're still a ways out. We won't know till 9 o'clock. But it's looking more like downward push because we're going from 2.0 to 2.5 on the TTM. It kind of looks like, I don't know, another bear flag, which looks like it has room down to 4,000. Whoops. I want active trader up there. Okay, TTM1 looking like 3.9 to 3.3 to 2.8, 2.2, now 1.8 on this drop. For any long movement, I'd have to see a cyan switch as well as a 912 crossover. 912 crossover, like completed, would be one of the better ones. We are getting a hammer candle off that support though. 2.2 to 1.8. And we are 1 minute away from 9 o'clock. I'm really tempted to take this for the potential of the cyan switch, but with the 9 below the 12, still don't want to take it. What's our contracts per minute? This one was 6,000, but the rest are like 1,300 to like, this one was even just 1,000. 1,750, kind of boring right now. Rate hike is tomorrow? Oh my gosh. For real? I think I was looking at Wednesday then. Let's take a look at the economic calendar. Dude, you're right. There's just existing home sales which came out. Which previous was 40 million or 4 million, and actual this time was 4.58 million. The forecast was 4.2, so home sales actually outperformed. You'll see home sales rise for the first time in 13 months, surging 14.5% in February. It's actually a pretty good sales increase. Honestly, like, I think that it wouldn't be such a bad thing if we had a housing market crash, but I think that we would actually get a car market crash of all things, just because like people were buying such expensive cars during the pandemic, paying like $100,000 for like a Toyota 4Runner, which is just insane. Market's looking slow, man. 1.5 to 1.17 to 1.0. There's a drop. Once again, holding that 200 support area, that 200 SMA on the, I believe it's on the 5-minute chart. There it is. We're actually holding above that. So maybe it's on the 3-minute chart. Yeah, it's right there on the 3-minute chart. This is starting to look more bearish on the 3-minute side, honestly. I mean, it's been looking bearish for a while, but pulling down below that that 200 SMA and now back to it. So I think we gotta see a red to yellow move here on the 3-minute side, or a cyan switch on the 1 would also probably work. So I'm just chilling. I just don't see a lot of trade opportunities. We are approaching a 1226 crossover. You can see that this 26 has diverged pretty heavily from that 35. If this 26 continues down while this moving average, this 12 moving average kind of stays the same, then, you know, we do have opportunity for an upward move, likely to the 35 or the 50, which puts it at like 4009, or I'm going to say 4010 to 4011 area. I'm actually going to join the bid right here. On the sim. Totally just ran through my order. It was even below it on the limit. And just ran on through. As if I didn't exist. Dude, enter me. Wow, that sounds awful. Fill the trade. There we go. And in 4008. I think I'm gonna look to get out of 4010. I'll do 950. This one's up, bouncing around here for a second. There we go. Pretty heavy pullback there. I was looking for that cyan switch. It's like super close. 0.39 to 0.36 area. So 0.39 to 0.49 to now 0.57. It's looking less good. Here at 9:05. So we should have a new 5-minute candle, which is also red on the TTM. Going from 3.5 to 4.0. Previous one was 2.5. So there's definitely a slowdown on the drop. 3-minute candle. We'll have a new one at 9:06, but this is going from 5.3 to 6.0. Headed back to the 1 minute. That 1226 crossover is super close, as well as that 912 crossover is also really super close. Didn't fill my order. Again. I'm gonna clear the cache. And then try to flatten here at 9. Alright, we got that trade up 412.50 on the sim. So I want to take this trade on the valuation side. However, I'm not taking it at the moment because the 9 EMA is still below the 12 EMA. Now you can see that this crossover here is super close. Our exponentials are moving in the proper direction. But the 1226 crossover has not happened yet. You can see right there. There's the 1226, the cyan and the white. And then this yellow line needs to get above this cyan line in order for me to have the confidence necessary in order to take the trade on the upper swing. Now you can see that that's the exact reason why. You can see that TTM is basically flat at the moment. It's flashing some cyan, it's flashing some red, it's flashing some yellow. So it's basically flat at the moment. We won't really know until this candle is done. This pullback candle. But what we'd want to see is this candle to end red. But like we wanted to end red around like 4,007 and a half, 4,008, that area. Okay, so if we end red there, and then this next candle is a 1 minute candle to make a new high, then we're looking solid. You can see though that this 9 EMA is still below the 12, and even though we haven't had that crossover of the 1226. The cyan on the TTM is looking a little bit more realistic. But again, we have to get these moving average crossovers in order to take the trade on long. So I'm just chilling, just waiting. If it happens, then what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to look to get a piece of it, which would probably be a run up towards the 50 EMA, which is at 4,010 right now. Okay, so there's the crossovers, and there's the TTM move as well. So I'm going to jump over here the eval side, and I'm gonna look to I was gonna try to join the bid there at 850, and I'm just looking for 3 contracts, 3 ticks, and I think that, but this is putting resistance along the EMA 35. And so my sketch is that this will just dump down because this is only 1 minute into this crossover. So it could still just dump, especially because we're below the 35. TTM going from 0.5 0.5 to 0.9. So it's looking a little better. Pulling back to 875. Bouncing back up to 950.
Order filled.
In at 950, and I'm looking to get out 10 and a quarter.
Order
All right,
filled.
we got that. That was 3 contracts traded. So that puts us up 133.71 in our evaluation on the day. There's a little hammer candle there. And we're looking really good for a continued upward move here. Going from 1.0 to 1.5. Watch out for resistance along the 50 EMA. I'm trying to get out here at 4,012 and a half, which I don't think is too much to ask. VWAP's up there at 13. Very nice rip. Pulled. Okay, so up 975 in the sim. This definitely could have been a much larger move. But seeing as we're trying to just get back above, get our trailing max back up to 2,000 and get back above 50K, I think that we're doing pretty well. It's looking pretty nice on the come up here. I'm going to take a look at the 3-minute side. We got a possible 5,200 crossover again. I think that this time that we'll actually get it. 3 minute is getting yellow candles here, 6.1 to 5.3 on the TTM. So we're gonna look for an entry off of 11. We'll just leave that standing there. I'm gonna take a look at the 5-minute chart, which is finally putting in a red to yellow, and you can see it's actually on a. So this is looking really good for an upward momentum. You see a long extended ABCD pattern here on the 5-minute chart. So this is looking really good for upward move. Got an entry off of 11 on the sim side, and I have a standing exit here at 1475. The 200 moving average is at 16 on the 1-minute chart. We're pulling back to 10 and a quarter, 10 right now. 1 minute chart looking like 2.7 to 3.0. By the way, if y'all chilling, y'all hanging out, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell for noties. It really does help. And also, too, guys, if you're trying to earn funding in the futures market like me, you guys may want to check out either Elite Trader Funding or Apex. Apex Trading just started offering the offering use of Tradeovate and TradingView as well as an NinjaTrader on the website, and they're currently offering it 80% off lifetime sale. So there is a link in the description that y'all can use in order to grab that. There's also Elite Trader Funding, one of my favorites. This is what I'm currently using. These guys are awesome because I really like their plans. They have some really unique plans, like Diamond Hands evaluation, allow you to earn or hold positions overnights, weekends. So there's a link in the description for these guys as well. Both of them will lock in a lifetime discount. This one requires a promo code JSBEST, and that'll lock in that lifetime discount for you. Apex has 11 hours left on their 80% off sale, and there's also a link in that description as well. I'll also drop those links here in the chat real fast as we get this breakout. I'll drop both those in here right now. In fact, I'll also include a link to our Discord community. So those are all put in the chat there right now. So y'all can take a look at those. If you, number one, you're wanting to earn funding in the futures market, and number two, if you're wanting to join in our amazingly awesome Discord community. We did get a nice bouncer off the 9 EMA. It's looking pretty good. We're gonna see probably some resistance here along the VWAP at 13. We're still in this trade on the sim side. Our entry is at 4,011, which is a really nice entry. Watch out for resistance along that VWAP. We may run into some resistance there. I'm actually going to drop this exit down to 12.25. Drop it down to 11.50 now. We're just past 9:15 here. 3 minutes been stacking nicely. 3 minute chart. Going from 5.5 to 4.7 to 4.0. We'll have a new 3 minute candle here in about 3 minutes. So we just got this one at 8:18. $4.7 to 4.0. Currently down slightly in this trade on the sim side. I think 4,012 makes sense. Pulling back to the EMA 35. VWAP is going to act as pretty strong support. My VWAP settings on TOS are slightly different than they are on Tradeovate. This one's at 12.8 and this one's at 13.09. So pretty close, but earlier there were like $1 difference. So it does, have some variance there. But you can see double top here at 13. $4.7 to 4.0 still. Possible crossover on the 1226 on the 3 minute side, which would look really solid for another upward move. Let's see where we're at. We're still in this possible crossover on the 5200 on the 1 minute side. Earlier this failed. 9's dipping below the 50. I think I'm going to cut this trade. Lost 112.50 on that. It looks like it might pop, but I ended up cutting that because I could see that this 9 EMA is struggling right now on the 1 minute chart. I need this 9 and 12 to both get above the 50 EMA. There's a nice pop. Some cooling on the TTM on the 1 minute. I'm like hunched over. 2.9 to 2.8 to 2.5. So it's not really much pullback on the 1 minute chart in terms of the momentum on the TTM. But rejected the VWAP twice. And you can see this 9 and 12 are struggling to get above 50. 12 is just slightly above 50 at the moment. 35 is in the upper direction, so I think that we're looking pretty solid for some moves. I think an entry here off of the 9 EMA doesn't look too bad. It was right there at 11. Everything's too close together for me to take a trade. I'm looking for really clear, really obvious direction. Cool off on CTM went from 2.9, 2.98 to 2.89 to 2.6, now down at 2.3. So, yeah, just gotta wait. So we're coming up on almost 2 hours streaming. We'll probably cut it at that time. But let's trade for a few more minutes. We do still have this possible crossover here. 3.9 to 3.0 on the TTM. Next candle is going to be at 24. Next 3 minute candle. That's in just about 30 seconds. Took a long in the sim at 4,011. I'm gonna put that at 1350. I think it's fine. 3.9 to 2.9. So it's looking pretty good. Here's the next VWAP move. There we go. We got that divergence on the 9 and 12. That's a third rejection on VWAP. Okay, good. It didn't fill me. I was going to take an entry off 1150, and maybe it wouldn't have been a bad move. But I essentially saw the third rejection there on VWAP, and so I'm going to cut this one. All right, we got that up 975 in the sim. I do think that this is going to rip through, but we may get another pullback before then. 9 is on the 12 right now on the 3 minute chart. They're ways out from this crossover that it's predicting. TTM going from 3.9 to 2.84 to 2.0. So TTM is looking really solid on the 3 minute chart. Yeah, so the move off 1150 would have actually worked out pretty well. It would have dropped me down to like a 1075, so 3 ticks to the downside. And provided that I didn't panic sell it. But you can see this triple top here of resistance at the VWAP. Now, the moving averages are moving in the proper direction in order to actually get this breakout, but the TTM is also cooling on the 1 minute side. It's looking better on the 3 minute side. We'll have a new candle at 27. We did just get a new 5 minute candle, so I really want to check in on the 5 minute chart. I think that the 5 minute chart looks pretty good. You got this A, B, C. We're kind of moving into the D part pattern here, the D portion of it. And this one did track a little lower than this part of the B. And so that could cause some issues. I don't think it's going to cause too many issues that really matter, because our TTM is actually significantly lower than it was in this previous pullback here. So it looks like our we're running out of time on our stream software. Nice rip up. Made it up through the VWAP. Nice rip now. Ripping all the way up to 1475. I guess our original trade idea would have worked out. So 5 minutes looking solid. 3 minute. 3 minute is nearing a cyan switch. 9's heavily above 12. Even though we're starting to get this 9:30 breakout, I'm gonna have to end up shutting it down, just because we are running out of time on our stream. So having said all that, guys, thank you so much for being here. I love and appreciate all of you. Longer stream today, but some fun trade opportunities. We are green on all our accounts, so good stuff there. I'm gonna go ahead and shut down the stream and jump over to the Discord community here in a little bit. I'll probably trade for a few more minutes, but we'll jump over to the Discord community and put our results in there. If you guys haven't already, pick up an evaluation at either Apex or Elite Trader Funding if you're trying to earn funding in the futures market yourself. All right, guys, I love and appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you tomorrow at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern time. Thank you so much.